Hi, Autonomy Season 8. My name is Jill. I'm a Season 7 grad, and it's really, really hard to believe that 6 months ago I was in your shoes, because it's hard to look back and even remember what life was like, because so much has changed. And I remember being nervous and excited and also really unsure of what was to come. I remember being intimidated because I knew that the type of people that Richard attracts and that Autonomy attracts are high-level people, very intelligent, well-read, maybe with skills in areas that I don't know anything about: technology, law, homesteading, and I wasn't sure that I would fit in or have much to contribute, and I wasn't sure that I had goals worth pursuing. And obviously, I'm here and I'm endorsing autonomy, so I was able to really work through that and find a safe place to work through questions and ideas and really find inspiration. I would not have made the changes in my life in 6 months that I have made if I had not been part of autonomy. So, my advice to you is to jump in and take full advantage. Not everybody can do that. My husband and I were both in autonomy last season, and we both took different paths and got value out of it. So I'm not saying that there's one right way, but if 6 months from now or less you want to be going, wow, I can't believe that it made a change, then taking action is your best course of action. And that means unmuting during the Q&As and asking relevant questions about the material and how you can apply that material to your life to reach your goals, get questions answered. And then the most important part is scheduling the interviews and integration exercises throughout the week. That is how you get to know the community. That is how you practice this public speaking. It's how you practice making your offer and getting to know what it is that people need. Since joining Autonomy, I have started on a career path that I didn't even know existed 6 months ago, and that's copywriting, something that you guys are going to be hearing a lot about. And I'm not saying that I can't even call myself a professional yet, but I'm learning, and I'm so happy that I am. And you guys are going to hear a lot about copywriting, I think, throughout this course, or hear it mentioned. So maybe you'll be right there with me soon.
But what I really wanted to talk about today was the mastermind groups, which is a feature that I wasn't really expecting. So one of my main goals in joining Autonomy was kind of tapping into this community of freedom-minded people, and that was partially for my own social benefit, but I was kind of hoping to, along the way, build up a network of people in tech, so I could have allies to brainstorm with and build this platform. And if nothing else, I'm going to need other people to host these servers, so I cannot do this alone. It doesn't really make sense to even try to do it alone. I need that network before I can really do much of anything. And now, instead of this organic process that I was expecting of having to find that group, I've been handed on a platter a technology mastermind, where I can get some ideas and maybe even some allies. So to come upon autonomy in this group of people who are accepting of my perspective and understanding, and not only on that side of things, but also people who are very goal-oriented and supportive of each other, it's meant so much to me. And I'm realizing what I realized as I was listening to Richard talk about the process of kind of building rapport and identifying what people's goals are and what their pain points are and figuring out a solution for them. I'm like, oh, that's what I do for a living. That's what I do. It's not the sales process, but I'm a solutions architect, and that process is literally the same thing. We don't necessarily focus on the rapport part of it, but kind of helps to have that. And that's what I do. I sit down with clients who are looking for custom software, and I figure out how does your business work? What kind of issues are you facing? What are you looking to get out of this when this project is done? So I have been working on that skill set for a long time, not correlating it with sales at all. And then I sit in these autonomy lectures and come to realize I've actually been working on these skills for a really long time, and it's just kind of a matter of reframing them in my mind and applying them a little bit differently. And I am, in fact, more of a salesperson than I ever realized. And so my big win is that I sold the fuck out of myself at multiple interviews, ended up getting 3 bids, 3 job offers in one day, and so I could just pick which one was the right one for me. Yeah, it went really well. So I feel like my skills, I've talked before, I already kind of had some of these, but the cadence of it and the kind of like thinking about that model of they're telling me their challenges, let me tell them the solution. It was like very intentionally done. I guess I did it well. So yeah, I'm happy. Wanted to share that. Bye.
Listen, Richard Grove is one of a kind. I mean, he's a fantastic researcher. He knows his stuff inside and out. There's not a conversation I heard in how many weeks, 13 weeks, that he wasn't able to advance in some regard concerning historical understanding. Got a great way about him is, hey man, I get that's hard and blah, 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 but you did this and you did this. So you're growing. Do you see that? And that's a really, really important thing to do, because you're needing to prove to people, give them evidence to see you are growing, you are getting better, you do understand this. Now, what else can you do? And he's got a real gentle but clear and, gently firm way of doing that with people.
Through the Peace Revolution, through Grand Theft World into Autonomy and then into Grand Theft World, his dedication to his research over so many years has certainly given him a very good foundation on which to draw for the information that he's purveying. He's got experience in all those departments as well. All the things he draws upon to further contextualize it or bracket or frame or however you want to, word it, I think are all very appropriate and very well chosen.
He's an absolute treasure and a good example of someone who's beating back tyranny by being a shining star.
I don't know of anything that is worth my time other than what we have specifically going on with this group of people, because I recognize in myself a desire. Richard talks about getting above the tree line of just stress and burnout and having a different mindset. And then when you combine that with the history blueprint, ultimate histories with like John Taylor Gatto, and the ability to think with the trivium method, there's no other collection point. It's like you guys are 10 to 20 years ahead of everybody else. Is like, what's going on? What should we do? And you guys are all like, offerings are totally done and ready to go. We are ready to take volume. You guys are so above competing on earnings per lead. What you have is 10 years ahead in terms of providing a solution than what anyone else has. So to compete on money is so below you. I think the messaging needs to be that you guys have the ability to teach people how to think, so that we don't have to spend all of our time whack-a-moling the crimes that have been committed and another way that they're lying and whatever. If you can just teach people to think for themselves, we won't have to continue to do these psyops, because they won't be successful on such a large amount of the population. And if you teach people to exit and build and to create community, I think that this is like a public service announcement for humanity